Good morning and welcome to the Student Hub Live. My name's Karen Foley and I'm going to be your host for the whole duration of events that we've got lined up for you today. So to welcome you to the Open University, we got together and thought about some of the key things that we thought that all OU students need to know. And today's event is a live, online, interactive opportunity to find out heaps about the OU, ask all the questions you want to know and meet other students who are all going to be embarking on this exciting journey. And hopefully we've got some students who are still alive and kicking and are already studying here to welcome you guys also. So some of you may not have been to these events before, and this is our platform at the Open University for developing academic community. And what we mean by that is that sometimes studying on your own can feel a bit lonely and isolating. You might not know how well you're doing, and it's great to be able to hook up with other people and talk to other people and also learn some new stuff. Now, we've got a wide programme of things throughout the academic year aimed at students at any level, any qualification and with any level of ability also. We do these sessions and we've also got a heap of workshops in Adobe Connect, which is the OU's online tutorial platform. Things like time management, all sorts of study skills, and they're just bite-sized hour-long chunks that you need to book on. So we've got lots there to support you in your study, but the best thing about these events is talking to each other in the chat and also to fill out our widgets, our interactive polls, to let us know, for example, where you are in the country, how you're feeling right now as well. These Wordles, these things with 3 spaces, need 3 things in them. Otherwise, they won't work. So if you can only think of 1 or 2, that's absolutely fine. Just put a full stop or a cross in the box of the others, and you can also then see what everyone else at home has said too. We'd like to know what level you're studying, but most importantly, we'd like to know what you're studying and why you're studying, and what you're most excited about, and also what you're most worried about. And in the chat, we've got today a range of people. Right now, it's HJ and Scott, and they're going to be bringing all your questions to us, never silly questions. So anything you want to know, they'll be talking to you, they'll be putting our questions to the guests. HJ and Scott, tell everyone at home how it all works.
Well, I think I'm feeling a bit like Luke today because he's very excited about what today is going to hold. I know we've got lots of great sessions coming up and there's loads of people in the chat. Like Karen said, anything goes in the chat. We want to hear any of your thoughts, comments, questions. If you're making tea or you've got your coffee at the ready like Hayley, we want to know what's going on with you, and this will be a great event to kickstart your study. Scott's joining me today on the chat as well, who's experienced OU staff, so he knows hopefully everything that I don't. But
if there's a challenge, any question, put to Scott.
Any questions we want to know. But yeah, with the chat, just put anything in there for our guests. We'd love to hear it. The chat can go kind of fast, especially because so many people are joining us today. So in the top right, there's a little pin button, which lets you manually scroll through as well. And we like to see where you are as well and what's going on with you. So if you want to send us anything, for example, I've got a few of my pictures that I really want to put up on our board behind us. So I've got a picture of all of the crew from the fantastic event that we had on Monday. And I've also got a picture of the view from where I am as well on the hot desk. Looks a bit different from my side, from what everyone else can see. As always as well, I've got my study buddy as well. So this is Bella, who loves to sit next to my laptop as always. And most of the time on the keyboard. That's actually rare that she's just good enough to sit next side. And you've got your cats as well, haven't you, Scott?
Zenning out in my garden. So they're not really up for studying at the moment, but there you go.
But yeah, if you want to send in a picture of your study buddy, what it looks like from where you are, just email us studenthub@open.ac.uk, and we'd love to put it on the board behind us. Just let us know that it's your picture and you're happy for us to use it. And it's only fair as well if you're sending something in to us that we send something back to you as well. So we'll find out more about that later.
Very exciting. Well, the map's all filling up, with the exception of the Northerners. So we're missing people from Northern Ireland, Northern Wales and Northern Scotland. Come on and tell us where you are in the country if you haven't already. And I hear Paul is multitasking as well, watching Student Hub Live and the rugby. Now, Paul, if it does get a bit much or exciting, you can always watch on Catch Up later. So this programme of contents and also much of the other stuff that we've covered in the past is all available on the Student Hub Live YouTube channel. So stay tuned in for as long as you can, but if there's other stuff going on in your life, it's fine to drop in and out as you want to. Okay, so to welcome everybody, we were racking our brains and think, what's the best way to present the Open University to you guys who might not know or might know an awful lot about it. And I'm joined by Finley and Caroline. Finley is an OU student and he's been doing a lot of vlogging, and Caroline is head of our broadcast and partnerships at the Open University. So she's going to tell us a little bit about what the OU does when it's not doing module materials and student-related things. So thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to start by thinking about what the most exciting thing is right now, because there's so much going on. I mean, there's so much going on in the world for people at home, etc. So what's really exciting both of you today?
I'm just about to start my very final OU module, which is exciting and a bit sad because I love the OU so much. I'm probably going to have to find something else to study because I just don't want it to be my last module. So that's my exciting thing.
And which module are you doing?
I'm doing A363 Advanced Creative Writing.
Wow.
Going straight in at level 3, which was a bit of a brave move. So I'm a bit terrified, but it'll be fine.
Brilliant. Well, you're not alone in feeling terrified, because I bet loads of people are thinking, what have I done? But
It's
how
common.
exciting is it?
It's common.
Brilliant. Caroline, what's exciting for you today?
I think what's exciting for me is we've got a series going out tonight, What Britain Buys and Sells in a Day, on the BBC. So there's a lot of activity going on to try and get that ready and let everybody know about
It must feel
it.
amazing looking at Radio Times and thinking, mine.
Hours, yeah. There's a lot of people in the OU who work on it, so we have academic experts who've worked across the programme, and so it's nice when, you know, such a long production period comes to sort of fruition and we can see how
How long has
do.
that taken then?
This one's not too long, it's only taken probably about 9 months or so, but
Yeah.
some of the other things we work on you take years,
Yeah.
you know, 3 to 5 years for the big sort of natural history type titles. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, no, that's great. OK, well, we asked everyone at home how you're feeling, so let's take a look and see what you had to say. So excited is the key thing here. Motivated, eager, nervous, hungry. You're hungry. You need something to eat then. A bit apprehensive, awake, terrified, scared, anxious, focused, enthusiastic, excited, apprehensive, overwhelmed, ready to start, daunted, stressed, nervous. OK, thankful. That's a wonderful word. Alive. I love that. Unsure. Good. OK, so lots and lots of brave. Excellent. That's a really, really good word as well. What did you think when you were reading those words?
It's funny that excited and nervous are the two biggest ones, because that's I think that's how every OU student feels.
Yeah.
I think that's how I feel every time I start a module, is those both of those things at the same time.
So as an OU student then, what might you want to share with students then about those things?
Enjoy it. I mean, it is scary starting a new module, but the thing is, you don't dive straight in at the deep end. You start at the beginning of the module and you work through. So if you look at the overall module, you can feel a bit overwhelmed, but that's not how a module happens. It happens one day at a time. So that's how I just take it one day at a time and enjoy it. And you'd be surprised before you're a few weeks in how much you know already.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I guess the learning sort of happens in quite a gentle way, that sometimes all of a sudden you know what some of these words mean and systems, and you're not as terrified as you may have been.
And it's holding that belief, because I think I always get to a stage in a module where I think, oh wow, look how much I know, and it's remembering that does happen, compared to like where I am now, starting on a new discipline, and I'm looking at all of these key phrases and not knowing what any of them are, but I remember from past modules that it'll be okay, I'll learn them, and it'll be fine.
And also there's such a good support network at the OU
Yeah.
that, you know, you're not alone. I think that's one of the key things to take away, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think there is so much more support. I mean, I've been to a bricks and mortar uni, and I actually find it far more supportive at the OU. I always have found it much more supportive. I think we all get that we are studying at home. It feels a bit isolating at times, so I think everyone makes a real effort to club together and support each other, which is lovely.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, I mean, today's programme was packed with students, because even though you can read things, and the OU are brilliant at, you know, creating materials and telling you all the stuff you need to know, but sometimes it's just so nice to hear it from another person and go, actually, I really don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Where am I supposed to go? Do I need to book any holiday? You know, what do I need to do? And it's nice to hear that from other people.
Absolutely. You see that in the modules a lot. The first person asks a question and then 10 more go, I'm so pleased you asked that, because I've been thinking that. It's common, you know, we all get lost and confused, or we overthink things. I can read something and think, oh my goodness, what does that mean? But actually, if I check it out with another student, then, you know, I've understood it, or they can help me understand it better. We're all in the same boat, and that's, you know, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And HJ and Scott, how's everyone at home feeling? Are there lots of questions, and what are people talking about right now?
Just what they're going to be studying. We've got lots of people doing access modules, it looks like, that are in the chat, and just a variety of the other introductory modules of other subject areas. They just thought, yeah, no one's really asking any questions yet. They're just look like they're
Raring to go.
raring to go, ready to listen, yeah.
I know Hayley as well has got a comment to mention that she does actually watch Finn's YouTube channel, which is fantastic. And said to tell you that she commented about you staying at the same hotel as her in Future Ventura. So lots of fans out there. But we've got lots of study buddies as well. So Chiara's study buddy, Frida the cat, is asleep on top of the closet. So we won't disturb Frida today. And yeah, we've got lots of people studying Access, and it's great to see what people are doing. So some people are coming back to it this year, and we've got loads of sessions which will suit you. And let us know if you picked up any study tips as well. If there's anything that you think, oh, I wish I knew when I started, or oh, it'd be great if other people knew this, let us know. We'd love to share them.
Brilliant. Well, let's take a look and see what you are studying. So here are the results from that word cloud. Maths, big there. Psychology, very popular also, and science. Got lots of people knowing their module codes, and if you're a new student, you might get the hang of this sort of numbers and letters all together with the different sort of areas of the university and different levels. Lots of people doing arts and humanities, A105, education, politics, childhood and youth philosophy, some of the STEM subjects, child psychology, forensic psychology, statistics, access module, sociology. Excited, oh brilliant. Design, introduction to social sciences, religion, English literature, so many different things. What a wonderful variety out there as well, and really reflects the diversity of the OU curriculum. I mean, some students might be on a qualification, some students might be doing an open programme, so there's a whole host of things out there, and it's great to get to know each other. Caroline, I wonder if you can tell us a bit about the TV programmes, because I think we all want to know about that, because many people don't realise the relationship that the OU have with the BBC, and in fact the OU's sort of general mission and purpose, which is a lot broader, I guess, than some of these module codes that people are so familiar with.
Yeah, so the OU BBC partnership really has existed since 1971. So that it was originally the way the Open University used the BBC to sort of disseminate its course content. And in the 70s, people turned on to late night television programmes and early morning programmes to hear OU lecturers talking to them and giving them course content. And obviously, as things have changed over the years, that has also changed. And the sort of partnerships evolved so that we now produce peak time programmes. But we still hold, it's still vitally important for us to tie in with our curriculum. So we only support programmes that are reflected by our curriculum. So we have academics across those programmes so that they can identify content that will go into our course curriculum. So although we are fulfilling a social mission, which the OU has to inspire people into learning and encourage engagement, we also deliver content for our curriculum, and we've got such a vast curriculum, as you know, as your graphic and what people are feeding back has just shown, that there are such a diverse range of programmes that we can be involved with.
So what's the sort of payoff? I mean, it must be great and exciting being involved in some of this programming, but how does it benefit then our students?
I think it benefits them really by the kind of content that we can use back in our teaching and learning. So there's such a huge amount that we use. So an example would be from Blue Planet 2, for example. You know, they capture things in nature that we would not be able to find and use in our curriculum in any other way. But, you know, on a smaller scale, we do a lot of smaller type programmes as well across BBC4 and BBC2 and on radio and digital channels. And that gives us an opportunity to deliver content that about life situations that you might not necessarily be able to get in any other way. So for our social care curriculum in criminology, for example, access to the police force, to the National Health Service, as well as contributors from around the world. So, you know, we have interviews with world leaders, key scientists, and so there's just a breadth of content, and we use about 65 to 70 hours worth of content that we've created with the BBC in our curriculum every year. So I think that's exciting for our students.
One of the things I love, I mean, often you don't know, like you'll think Blue Planet, and then at the end you see the OU logo and you think, oh wow, that's part of something I'm involved with. It's wonderful. And then you see academic consultants or, you know, various things, and you think, I know that person, I've read something that they've done, and it's amazing. And then, you know, sometimes like on OpenLearn, which has got loads and loads of free resources, you might go in and say, oh, I was really interested in that, and then there's an interview there or a blog or something else, or some, you know, rushes that haven't made it into the final cut or something extra that you can watch.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to appeal, you know, to that wide audience as well. But I think for students as well, what we are just starting to do is offer them a service so that all the programmes, the entire back catalogue, so since 1971 to the programme that's going out tonight, will be available for students to watch from their sort of qualification and module sites. That's coming online, and so you can watch them on, you know, you'll be able to watch them on demand rather than just as clips in your modules or live when you watch them on television or via iPlayer or something.
Brilliant. Oh gosh, exciting project. Okay, Anna's got Lollipop Envy, but I think Luke's also very interested in the Lollipop, which is mine, so that's non-negotiable. But you've given us some stuff to send out to people at home, haven't you?
Yeah, I hope so, yes.
So HJ, we've got some, what were you going to show everybody about things that we can post and return for cat and dog pictures?
I'm really excited about this because we have got people sending in their study buddies as well, which is fantastic to see. So we'll be showing them a bit later after the break. But as I said, it's only fair that if you guys send stuff in to us, we send stuff back to you. So we've got these fantastic posters from the BBC OU TV programmes, which are amazing. I absolutely love these. So we've got one on the oceans, and we've also got one from Blue Planet as well, which was fantastic, wasn't it? So we've got a fantastic booklet there with lots of different information from the TV programme and how the OU's getting involved. And I think the great thing about these things is you can see where your study can take you as well, because all these people making these programmes and getting involved with it were students at 1.2, and they're all learning while they're going. And this is my favourite one, I think. This is the Planets poster. I've actually got one at home as well.
Upside down, HJ.
Oh. I'll get that one right. But yeah,
There is no direction.
So
Always looking at
it's
things
all
from a
about
different perspective, you, aren't we?
that's it. But yeah, certainly send in pictures of your study buddies, the view from where you are, or something interesting or top study tip. We'd love to hear it, and we'd love to send something back to you.
We're
as
already
well.
getting some study
Yes.
tips. One day at a time approach, get a nice study planner. And then someone else said, but don't get stuck in the planner. Be prepared to be flexible. And then a whole discussion about their love of planners. So different kind of ensuring what they're like.
Bethany had a great tip as well, that at the beginning of every week, get your planner out, break things down that are happening, so at least you've got in your mind what's going to happen that week and a little bit more organised. So that's a great tip. I've added it to the board as well, and we'd love to see more of your study tips up there.
Brilliant, excellent. Natalie loves posters too. And I hear that a lot of people are also very interested in the stationery we've got going on here, which can make studying a lot easier, but isn't essential at all. Yeah, it always makes you feel good. So we've asked people at home why they're studying, and I'd like to see what they say, and then I'd like to ask you, Finley, as well. So when we asked you the question, why are you studying? Here's what you said. So lots of people are after career changes, personal development. So a real clear purpose here, future careers, wanting to go further. But there's also a lot of other non-related career things, like because they're passionate about things, self-improvement, love of computers, personal achievement, the time's right, personal aspiration, they're retired, disability, they want to be a maths teacher, obtain a degree, interested in the subject, knowledge, promotion, quality of life. So heaps and heaps of things there in terms of both the subject interest that's inspiring people, future directions, but also that need to sort of, I guess, fulfil something within yourself. How's that sort of been for you, Finley?
I've got lots of reasons why I study, and they've evolved over time. Initially, it was personal development.
Yeah.
I'd actually got myself clean and sober. I'd had some problems throughout my life, so I returned to the OU to try and improve my prospects. But it's actually through the process of studying that then I've decided what I want to do for a career. And so now I've chosen a module that's more specific to my own business and my career.
Yeah.
But my overall reason for studying was always to improve myself. And I think that's the most amazing thing about the OU. It's not just the actual subject you learn, it's all the other stuff that you learn about yourself, you know, the self-discipline you learn. I've learned so much more about who I am and what I can do, because the flexibility of the OU has been a really powerful thing in my life around my mental health.
Yeah.
And before that, I couldn't study because I couldn't manage the strict routine of a 9 to 5 at university. So for me, learning that flexibility has now been applied to my daily life and my career. So I've learned so much than actually what I came here for in the first place, which is incredible.
And you're going to talk to us later about that flexibility.
yeah.
But for right now, I wanted to pick up on something. I mean, I studied with the OU as well, and I was going to be a clinical psychologist. And here I am now doing something that I didn't think I was going to be doing. And I'm just reflecting on some of the students' journeys, and it's great to have a goal. It really, really, really is. But isn't it interesting how things change along the way? And you have had a really interesting experience with wanting to do something quite specific and learning so much about yourself that you're actually happier now with the direction you're going in. Are you happy to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, it's been a really profound journey. It really has. And I think that's the key thing, that you have an end goal in sight, but being aware that it can change. I mean, the thing is, what I always wanted to do was to help other people. And initially I wanted to be a psychologist, a counsellor, and I'm still doing that, but now I'm doing it via, I speak and I write and I make videos about mental health instead. So I've gone down a different route, but I'm still doing what I was always passionate about. The OU's helped me to see a different way to do it that's more suitable for me along the route. So yeah, it's really opened up some avenues in my life. And also working with the OU as an ambassador, that's opened up some pathways to me that wouldn't have been there. So, you know, I've started for one reason, and it's just evolved to be this massive thing where the OU is so much part of every part of my life, really.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm such a proud OU student. Whenever I see that OU at the end of a programme, I'm just like, oh, that's my uni. And I'm so
there's
proud.
so many people as well that when you're on the train and you see someone with their book, or you know, listening to something or doing, there's 176,000 OU students, you know, so it's a massive number.
I've had that happen in a cafe. Somebody was sat with their OU book and then we just like waving at each other. It's just like this secret club. It's amazing. But yeah, it happens quite a lot.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. I guess it must have been tricky, though, sort of thinking you had this real clear idea about what you wanted to do. How did you listen to yourself when you were thinking, maybe that's not quite the right direction for me?
If I'm honest, at first I was a little bit upset. When I came to the realisation that my mental health was going to get in the way of ever doing anything that was really strict routines, at first there was initial kind of, what am I going to do now then? But because of the way I've evolved, I just felt more open to it. So I went home and I did exactly that. I reevaluated. I looked at exactly what it was I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a counsellor to help people. Well, was there another way I could do that? And I was already making films and blogging about mental health, so it was just a bit of a light bulb moment for me. But that's it. The Open Uni has taught me to think outside the box. And you know, the idea of me ever running my own business would just never have happened 9 years ago. The idea of that would have just been complete fantasy. So now that I'm actually doing that, it still takes me by surprise every day. And it is the OU that's got me here.
Brilliant. Well, thank you both so much. That's been a wonderful introductory start to today's programme. We're all super excited. So are you guys. Let's just take a quick look at the Wordle where you told us what you were most excited about. Learning is the key thing here, learning new things, broadening horizons, new knowledge, future, meeting friends, getting a degree. Meeting friends is a wonderful one. Exams, oh, good. Great chance to show your knowledge. Ethics, creativity, finishing, socialising, meeting tutors, tutorials, reading, experiments, improving myself. So some wonderful, wonderful things there, all of which are very, very worthy of much excitement. And we're going to cover a lot of things in today's programme, like what happens at tutorials and about how to get on with other students online and all sorts of things like that that are going to be really, really useful. So thank you both very much for that introduction. We're now going to introduce you to some other members of staff at the Open University, a video I made last week with Liz Marr and Sally Hayes, and then we're back for our next session to talk about how studying at the OU actually works. So stay tuned and we'll see you for that next session in just a few minutes.